Hello boys and girls, GameCam here, and obviously I am going to be answering the questions you left me on my comments on my video, so obviously this should be... obviously I'm going to start off with the... probably work my way down. Obviously I'll probably do some TF2 gameplay in the background for those of you that get bored easily. Obviously we're starting off with Fresh Boy. What was your first game ever, and how do you get around to playing it? My first game I ever played was probably on the PlayStation 1 when I was about 6 or 7. I was pretty young at the time. I think it might have been Crash Bandicoot was probably the first game I ever played. It would be Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 1. It was closely followed by, was it Spider-Man, the first one on PS1, which I remember bashing Spider-Man, the first one on PS1, so much that I actually had issues where I actually, bled from my thumbs, because I played it for about 12 hours straight, and by then I was obviously a noob to playing games, so obviously I wasn't used to, playing for constantly, so obviously by that time I rubbed away my tiny infant soft fingers into friggin' solid calluses because I'd just constantly been playing, because I just loved it. I just loved the idea of being Spider-Man and running away. It was an amazing game and I really loved it, and that's what really started my passion for video games, the fact that I could, in video games you can be anyone, you can do anything that you can't do in real life. Obviously if I tried to rocket jump in real life I'd blow my legs off. So obviously I do enjoy a lot of it, and that's why I love video games. Because it's an escapist quality, the fact that you can do anything, be anyone sort of thing. So obviously after that I got really into video games, and I got friggin' Time Crisis on that one, and it was amazing. Yeah, and obviously that's how I got around to playing it. That was Fresh Boy. Moving on to the Monkey Spies question. How did you get the name GameCam? I personally didn't think of it. It was my brother who thought of it. I was originally going to go with The Crazy World of Cam. I was going to think of the idea of the logo with sort of like the world with my face on it and then a bunch of explosions or something. It was really stupid at the time. But then my brother was like, hey, why don't you do with GameCam? And I was like, that's going to be obviously taken by a million other people. And I looked, and there wasn't really any game cams, and I was like, what? So it was just so good that I just couldn't pass it up, so I eventually ended up taking it, and obviously game cams stuck, and obviously it's been fairly successful. I'm not on 2 subs yet. I think that's fairly successful. Moving on now onto Flare. The most annoying thing in TF2. It's a tough one, but I think it has to be, it's close between spies and your team not supporting you. I hate teams that let you down. That is the worst thing, because Team Fortress 2 is obviously, in the name, team. It requires some of cooperation and working together, and I think that there's been way too many times I've tried to clutch an entire match on just me and my sentry. Having to hold back the entirety of blue team just by myself and my sentry, just trying to fight off all the spies, fight off all the heavies and stuff like that, and all my team's I'm gonna run away and just try and run and backcap and stuff, and I was like, oh, I need help, but there's obviously no one to support me, and it's either that or when you get friggin' spies, noob spies, when you're walking around the corner and they put down a sentry, and then there's a freaking eternal reward noob spy sort of backstabs you and it sort of stands there, it's just and then switches stuff, and then takes ages to sap it, and it's he's probably working out the button to sap. It's just painful to watch, and I hate spies and spies in general. I love playing spy, but if you as they said in the Honest trailer, it's the class you want to play, the class everyone hates, because it's just so annoying, especially when he just runs around and saps all your stuff. You try to smack him, but he just keeps getting away, and it's cry. Makes me cry time. Was it Spam Central? Do you enjoy Overwatch, and what is good about it? Have you been put off by the cost? Oh, I freaking love Overwatch. I love it so much. I get really annoyed at it sometimes, though, but I do love it so much, and I'm definitely going to bash the crap out of it for like years to come. What is good about it, I think, is the fact that it's the wide variety of classes certainly gives a lot more flexibility and a lot more interesting combinations that you can play. So it always keeps the game relatively fresh. I think that there's a lot of skill based in a lot of classes. I mean, there's some classes that have no skill base whatsoever, but I think there's a slight bit, even if a tiny amount, in some of the classes. There's generally skill, some more skill-based things. A lot more fast-paced, I think, than some of the other games. I like to enjoy the teamwork, and I like the art style. The the whole game is really well made. The hitboxes on it are very good. I don't go, I got a headshot when it was actually in my chest or something. It's never had stuff like that. So I've always gone, I'm dead. I understand that I got a headshot because I did actually get a headshot. I think it still has a long way to go. I think there's a lot of things that need to be nerfed. A lot of things need to be changed, I think, especially regarding Widowmaker. Widowmaker, I think, needs a nerf. But besides that, I think generally it's good. Obviously, I wasn't put off by the cost. I was a bit disappointed by the cost, seeing as it's completely online. I thought the cost was a bit steep. But seeing as all the things coming, like all the DLC and stuff, is going to be free, I think that's a fair price to pay to get the game and basically get a season pass as well. I think that cost wasn't too high. So obviously I raised the money and bought the Origins edition because I was a sad owner, thought I needed the skins as well. But obviously. So I think it's a really good game, and I think everyone shouldn't be put off by the cost. I think everyone should get it if they have a chance. Moving on, Noth, what one Overwatch weapon do you think would fit TF2? Oh, I think what would be an interesting one is I think there's quite a lot of them that could actually fit pretty well. I think obviously there's McCree Revolver you can give to Spy. There's the hammer, Cho'Gawn's hammer you can chuck in there for Engineer. I think that there's you could even do freaking Winston's electric gun for Pyro if you wanted to. So there's quite a lot you can choose from that I think would actually work fairly well in there. I think my favourite, if I could choose any to put in there, would probably be probably do one of the probably McCree's Revolver. I think for Spy, I think they'd probably enjoy most. But anyway, there's lots of other ones. But moving on, Makada, Mahik. I apologise if I mispronounced this. Mahirkan PS. How many classes do you have? How many hours do you have in TF2? And what class do you main? I think I'm getting on to 1,000 now. I'm pretty damn close. What class do I main? I can play. I main NG. By the fact that like everyone assumes I main NG, and I'm fairly good at playing it. And I end up playing it a lot. But the fact of the matter is, I can play most classes really well, except from Demo Man and Soldiers. Demo Man and Soldier, I can kind of play average. Everything else I can play actually pretty well to a sort of a competitive level. But I could, there's some like some things that Demo Man and Soldier I just couldn't play. So I don't necessarily have a main, but if I did, it'd be interesting. What was it? Who's your inspiration and why did you start YouTube? Inspiration, I didn't really have one. I mean, I watched a lot of YouTube beforehand, and obviously I wanted to make videos because I wanted to, I thought it was going to be fun and I was going to enjoy it. I think the first YouTube for TF2 that I ever watched was probably Neil Silk, because my friend Tom played TF2 loads and he watched those. And obviously he got me into watching Neil Silk, and obviously I've spam watched Neil Silk. I watch everything you've made, and I obviously really love his videos. But I wouldn't say I necessarily had an inspiration. The main reason I started doing TF2 first was because of the fact that that was the only game that I could actually record. The only thing I could get was a free recording program for PC, so that was, and TF2 was really the only PC game I had at the time, so that was just why I initially did TF2. I then obviously got a recording system for Battlefield and then began doing Battlefield videos, because obviously I played a lot of Battlefield and I did a lot of that time, so I thought recording that would be best. The main reason I started recording and making videos is because of the fact that I was fairly good at Battlefield. And obviously I enjoyed getting, I got loads of really good kills, and I thought that obviously people might enjoy watching them. I really wanted, I wanted the gratitude of other people saying, it's a bit selfish and a bit self-centered, but I want other people to go, wow, that was an amazing kill, just to feed my ego. So I thought, I'll just pop it on the internet and watch other people do it. So obviously that's what I started doing, really just to feed my ego more than anything else. I also did it because I obviously stopped, after I watched all the Nielsen stuff, I began running out of stuff to watch on YouTube, so obviously. But obviously I've slowly worked my way through more and more TF2 YouTubers, so obviously it's going pretty well now. I always have something to watch somewhere. What aspect or unimpressed robot? What aspect or part of Overwatch annoys you most? I think it's probably. I don't know. There's classes that really annoy me, such as Widowmaker and Genji. But then there's other things that annoy me in Overwatch, like the region thing is probably the thing that most annoys me, and I really want Blizzard to fix is the region. Because it's so annoying trying to play with. I want to play with my European friends, but I also want to play with my American friends. Obviously, I can switch region, but I can't play with. It's awkward playing with both at the same time. I think the region system really is awkward. I understand that they've probably got a lot of people playing, so that's probably why they've had to section it. But I think they probably could try and fix it with Overwatch. I mean, it's a bit of a pain, a bit annoying, I think. But mainly the things that annoy me is mainly Widowmaker. Because she just seems to be able to spam out sniper shots and still manage to murder everyone, and it's just so annoying. Because I play Hanzo, so I play Hanzo a lot, so she's just so annoying to try and play against. What was it? I think that's fairly good. Obviously, Dark Mercenary. Hey, I just uploaded my first you. Can we come up sometime? Sure, why not? Obviously, I think I've answered everything to a satisfactory level there. Obviously, I think that I'm just going to ask myself some questions. Hey Cam, what classes do you play the most in Overwatch? Well, that's a great question, Cam. I play McCree quite a lot, but I also play a Hanzo and Jumper. That's great. Okay, so we're in Team Fortress 2. What's your favourite map? I think you probably have. To the Radical 4th and 5th of June. It'll be streamed by Hero Slash. Obviously, if you have any more questions in the future, then obviously let me know in the future. Quickly for actually look out exactly how many hours I have on TF2.
Enemy has received additional time.
You boys and girls, die. Hey boys and girls, Game Camp here, and I've chosen the server with the worst